Oh boy, oh boy. Hello, everybody. Aren't you impressed by the polished, smooth professionalism of the opening to this show? Hey, look, all the gutterages is, or whatever the plural of that is. And hey, Eddie Collins, how's it going?
Good.
Good to see you, buddy. And Lindsay and Elaine and Stephen. I like your backdrop with the dogs. And there's Kate Pass. Hi, Kate. I hope your folks are all doing good. Give them my best.
My dad's right behind me.
Oh, there you. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Nice to see you. Hey, there's Kim and Steve and Nikki and Stuart and Gordon and Tracy and whoever Galaxy Tab is. You look very comfortable, Mr. Galaxy Tab. And look at the whole gang. Oh, there's the Hursts. Hey, Hursts. Steve and Chris, nice to see you guys. And Kathy and Roger and Elaine and Lily and Jenny and Susan and Gary Kershaw. Good. And Jessica. Hey, Jesse. How you doing? And good to see you. And let's see what else here. Daisy and Sandra and Marianne. Again, I always feel a little like the lady in Romper Room where she's got her magic circle wand looking at everybody. And well, it's nice
Never
to
said
see
my
everybody.
name, so thank you.
Pleasing to get here. Now, just I'm going to mute everybody for a second because I hear a lot of chattering. Let's see. Mute all. But when I mute you, just so you know, just if this is your first visit, you can unmute yourselves. Hopefully, you wait to the end of a song, or if it's a silly song, you can unmute yourselves and make noise. But just try not to leave the radio on, or watching the TV on another on another channel at the same time, which actually has happened in the past. Hello, folks. Well, I started kind of late, so I will start the show by grabbing a guitar. Hope everybody's well. It's nice to see everybody. Okay, I'll give this a shot. You know what? It's just it probably barely is worth mentioning, but it was about a year ago this week that I sat down and had to cancel a 40-city UK Ireland tour, as it became obvious. Or not obvious, but strangely foreboding about what was going to happen. And I even though I hate the schlepping and the flights and hanging around the airport and long drives and stuff like that, I actually really enjoy touring, especially getting to meet good folks like you out in the world, and also see the beautiful scenery in all these different parts. And so I'm going to start with this song here that I wrote when I was up in the Lake District. And my agent left me for a whole weekend in Lake Windermere with no bookings. And my God, there was nothing to do. Nothing to do but just walk around. And fortunately, it's a beautiful part of the world to walk around in. forest in the northern fells, under a precipice where the hill spirits dwell. That's where we first kissed, under some ancient spell, and where I said farewell. Oh, Sarah, send me back to the Lakelands. Pack up my gig and my gunny sack. I've made some new plans. If my love will take me back, I'd like one more chance. Off to Cumbria on holiday, you came to walk the fells, and I showed you the way. And off the wooded path in the moss we lay, till you stole me away. Oh, Sarah, send me back to the Lakelands. Pack up my gig and my gunny sack. I've made some new plans. If my love will take me back, I'd like one more chance. Down through Ulverston and Buttermere, up top Castle Rig where the air is clear. I know when I think of her, I can't stay here. Belong on the shores of Windermere. Oh, Sarah, send me back to the Lakelands. Pack up my gig and my gunny sack. I've made some new plans. If my love will take me back, I'd like one more chance. Thank you. So my earpiece wasn't working today, so you hear everything okay? You're not hearing any bad echoes because I have my speaker on a little?
It's good.
Sounds great, Dean.
Oh, excellent. All right, I'm pleased to hear. All righty, cool. Glad that worked out. Let's see what else is going on here. Aha. Well, no, I don't want that open. I want this closed, and I want this open. So, pardon me. I would like to acknowledge that for my landsmen, brethren, it came out of those Israelites, that this is the second, the first day, second night of Passover coming up. And so happy Passover, happy Pesach, everybody. And there's a song that I'm going to perform for you to acknowledge that. And apparently I got an email from friends saying that this song was played on the CBS Sunday Morning News this morning during a segment on matzo balls. So I'm going to perform that for you now. And if you don't know what a matzo ball is, where have you been living all these years? It's a dumpling for chicken soup, and it's made of matzah. And ideally, they're very fluffy. But sometimes, and my mom made great matzo balls, but every now and then she would mess up her timing, and they would come out like golf balls. But they were delicious in any case. So this is almost a true story, let me tell you, because sometimes my mom would get a little over enthusiastic in the kitchen, and this was the result. My mama loves to cook at least 3 times a day, but every now and then she gets carried away. So let me tell you of a time that I recall. One day my mama made 1,000,000 matzo balls, 1,000,000 matzo balls, 1,000,000 matzo balls. One day my mama made 1,000,000 matzo balls, 1,000,000 matzo balls, 1,000,000 matzo balls. One day my mama made 1,000,000 matzo balls. There were matzo balls everywhere I turned, everywhere I looked. There were matzo balls. There were matzo balls in the bedroom. There were matzo balls in the hall. There were matzo balls in the living room, stacked up against the wall. There were matzo balls in the front yard and in the backyard too. There were so many matzo balls I didn't know what to do. 1,000,000 matzo balls, 1,000,000 matzo balls. One day my mama made 1,000,000 matzo balls, 1,000,000 matzo balls, 1,000,000 matzo balls. One day my mama made 1,000,000 matzo balls. Hey Sam, if you're there, if you could admit some of those folks that are in the waiting room. Well, there were matzo balls in the blender and the vacuum cleaner too. There were matzo balls in the microwave and matzo balls in my shoes. There were matzo balls on the table and on each and every chair. There were so many matzo balls. There were matzo balls everywhere. 1,000,000 matzo balls, 1,000,000 matzo balls. One day my mama made 1,000,000 matzo balls, 1,000,000 matzo balls, 1,000,000 matzo balls. One day my mama made 1,000,000 matzo balls. There were matzo balls of every shape, size, and description. Well, most of them were average size, and some were really small. And here and there I saw a few as big as a bowling ball. And some were light as feathers, others hard as rocks. One of them rolled out the door and bounced for 50 blocks. 1,000,000 matzo balls, 1,000,000 matzo balls. One day my mama made 1,000,000 matzo balls, 1,000,000 matzo balls, 1,000,000 matzo balls. One day my mama made 1,000,000 matzo balls. Now, of course, you know, when your mom spends all day slaving in the kitchen behind a hot stove making matzo balls, there is really only one thing you can do. You got to eat them. Well, we ate up all those matzo balls. It took us half a week. Our tummies were so full that we could barely speak. The next day I came home from school without a care at all to find my mama made another 1,000,000 matzo balls. 1,000,000 matzo balls, 1,000,000 matzo balls. One day my mama made 1,000,000 matzo balls, 1,000,000 matzo balls, 1,000,000 matzo balls. One day my mama made 1,000,000 matzo balls.
Love it.
A million matzo balls, indeed. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Just want to make sure everyone's getting in. It's coming. Folks, and folks in the Zoom audience, and I hope you understood this when getting your Zoom tickets, that as an experiment, I'm streaming this show to Facebook. And I couldn't get it go working on YouTube. But so theoretically, there are folks on Facebook that didn't realize this was about to happen, and they're watching going, what the hell is going on? But if you're there, welcome to my 8th All Requests Zoom concert. You can still, if you like, get a ticket and join, or if you want to make a humble donation, that's also fine. But in any case, just sit back and relax and enjoy, and hopefully you catch the next one. I've been doing these every month, the last Sunday of every month, while I've been recording a new album, which is coming along nicely. Thank you very much. And so meanwhile, I'm going to find another song. This is off the very first album. Trying to do too many things at once. But that's quite all right. And my computer's really slow. Here we go. Let's do this. Humor me. Humor me. Don't take what I say too seriously. It's not that I am insincere. I really do mean everything I say. It's just that every time you're near, I get carried away. Humor me. Humor me. Anytime I get a little silly, you know it's really not my fault. I really do mean everything I say. Just take everything I say with a grain of salt. You see, underneath this cynical exterior, there's a child in me waiting for the chance to prove that all my logic is inferior to romance. Humor me. Humor me. Don't be frightened by the things you see. So don't be overcome. Sure, I know infatuation's all it is. Just a stage I'm going through. So don't be overcome by your defenses. And you can even make believe you love me too. And I'll humor you.
Change of words.
Yeah, sorry about some of those lyric anomalies. But that's why I prefaced it by asking you to humor me. So, all right, so everything hunky-dory out there in Zoom land? I hope. Let's see, I think that I see my helpful accomplices, the Socks from the Scottish Falsetto Sock Puppet Theater. Hey, Socks, how's it all doing there?
How are you doing, Dean? We are fine and dandy. You can see us here in our new venue, the Social Club.
I see. It looks very social it looks like a very substantial pub that you're in there. Tell me more about it.
I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like the 1970s, and it smells like the 1970s as well. You can smoke in here. There's a fag machine over there. You'll need to explain that for the Americans. No, they can make up their own gags. And of course, we've got all of the beers, all of the old beers, because next week, or this coming Friday, we're doing our very first show from our own Social Club. which is going to have some guest comedians. And we've also got a house band who have been frozen in this club since the 1970s, and they're called Fine Fair. Hilarious gag for people who remember the 1970s. So
I do remember the 1970s. In fact, I was at the 1970s. So that's very exciting. That sounds really good.
Yeah, it sounds better than it smells. That's all we can say. So we're lapping up the atmosphere here, preparing to entertain smoking and drinking overweight punters.
Well, I really look forward to your show. And by the way, how can folks find out where your show is?
As always, Twitter and Facebook is full of us going on about it endlessly. And,
I'm pleased to hear it.
It's only £5 a ticket, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, undercut the Deanster, why don't we?
Oh, there you go. That's good. By the way, I just I sang that matzo ball song, and as I was singing it, I thought of you guys because you're not synthetic, right? You're 100% cotton, is that right? Or wool?
Yeah. In fact, I remember I went into the chemist the other day. He said, cotton wool balls. I said, what do you think? There you go, a joke from the 1970s.
Okay. So tell us more about what you've been up to.
Well, what we've been up to at the moment is we're reading all the comments on chat, and people are having a discussion about remembering Fine Fair, which is the name of our house band. And Kathy said that was her first job, working in Fine Fair. So it's quite a nostalgia fest.
I'm pleased to hear it.
Oh, well, also, we've been preparing a kids' show. By the way, have you made that prop? Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you, is that what you meant? Yes, of course. Because we used to love those TV shows where they show you how to make things like Blue Peter. Does anybody remember Blue Peter?
I never saw it, but I heard about it. Big kid show in the UK.
Very big kid show in the UK. Yes, they're on the chat. People remember Blue Peter. Oh, what about Take Heart? Anybody remember Take Heart? Yeah, a few Take Heart fans. What about Vision On? God, they're as old as you. Shut your face. Go and get. Did you? You see, they used to make something that they prepared earlier. So I think that's right, Kate. Something I've prepared earlier. So did you make it? Yeah, is that what you meant? Yes, of course. Go off and get it. So I've asked him to make. Are you sure? Yes, of course. Go off and get it. So in the spirit of those shows, I have asked my colleague to make. Are you sure? Yeah, get it. I'm so sorry. In the spirit of those model making and hobby making shows of our childhood, I've asked my colleague, and he spent all morning doing it, I've asked him to make a ship in a bottle. So now,
a ship in a bottle.
Now, ladies and gentlemen of the Dean, I'm not very proud of this. They don't want to see this. You want to see it, don't you, ladies and gentlemen? Yes. Did you do your best with this? Yes. Was it hard? Well, it was a bit of a strain, yes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, would you prepare to clap your eyes on my colleague's fascinating ship in a bottle? Ship! Oh! Oh my God! What? Get rid of that! It's minging! I'm so sorry. Move that away! Move that away! That's the foulest thing I've... On the name of the wee man! Further away than that! Further away! I am so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That... Oh, poke it with a stick! Ah, you're bouffing! I'm so... Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I apologise. We will not be able to do that particular... I'm warning you, pal. Listen, Dean's had us on here to fill in a little second of the show. Do you know any nice songs to redeem yourself? I do. I'll get my guitar. I'm so... Oh, God, I bet you're glad you're upwind of that one. Nice guitar. Thank you. I know a song. This isn't a song by Dean Friedman. This is a song by Lou Reed. Do we have any fans of Lou Reed?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, one fan of Lou Reed. Everybody else probably thinks that's what you wipe your ass with on a chemical toilet. By the way, the song goes like this. Doop, de doop, de doop, doop, de doop, doop, de doop. Silent guitar tonight. Doop, de doop, de doop, doop, de doop, doop, de doop, de doop, doop, de doop. And she never lost her head. Even when she was giving head, she said, what are you doing? Talk properly. I was adding cinematic verisimilitude. We didn't need cinematic verisimilitude. What we needed was a nice song. I'm so sorry, Dean. We'll have to return to you and sanity. You idiot. Get off. Oh, we can come back and fill in. It really is up to you, Dean. Sorry. Dean probably thought we were going to perform an entire 3 minutes of Walk on the Wild Side, and we didn't. My idiot friend here did a bad version. Are you there, Dean?
For some reason. Oh, okay, I got unmuted. I'm back. I'm there. Socks, thank you for regaling us with that tale. And what can I say? I'm going to go over here and do some more on the keyboard. And again, folks, if you can't wait to see more of the Socks, you should check them out. Their shows are really great. And inimitable comes to mind. And let me swing my way over here.
We'll just cover the join by saying that's Friday, April the 2nd, Scottish Falsetto Socks Social Club. Okay, let's go and spotlight Dean. Spotlighting you now, Dean.
Thank you, Socks. A lot of people requested this song out of the blue, which I appreciate. I don't get to play it a lot. It's also very much influenced by the Beach Boys, which is more obvious in the recording. Hey Larry, can I borrow your car? I got a date tonight with a movie star. She's got sexy legs and a perfect bod. She's got such a pretty face, I swear to God. Don't worry, it'll be alright. We'll have a bite to eat and then we'll dance all night. When the sun comes up, I'm gonna take her home and we'll kiss goodnight. And I'll walk away alone. She's not your ordinary girl. She's much more wonderful. I wouldn't change her for the world. She's so extra special. Larry knows it's just what it seems. I thought I'd never find her, but she's the girl of my dreams. Every time I see her, it's like the first time. Getting nervous and I stammer, and my temperature climbs. Larry, do you know what she said? She said, I always wanted someone with a lot of bread. And then you came along and you saw right through and you stole my heart. You'll just have to do. She's not your ordinary girl. She's much more wonderful. I wouldn't change her for the world. She is so extra special. Larry, you're a real pal. I don't know how to thank you, but I can't right now. I got to take a shower. I got to change my clothes. I got to take a shower. I just got to pick her up in half an hour. So listen, Larry, see, I got to run, but what I'm trying to tell you is she's the one, and I'll be real careful like I always been. And I'll see you tomorrow, and thanks again. She's not your ordinary girl. She's much more wonderful. I wouldn't change her for the world. She is so extra special. Larry, can I borrow your car? I got a date tonight with a movie star. She's not your ordinary girl. She's so wonderful. I wouldn't change her for the world. She is so extra special.
We're all applauding on mute there.
Now, I'm singing this song today in part because this week, this is a very interesting announcement. This week, Governor Cuomo, the government under attack for various scandals in New York City, New York State, just announced that the New York State legislature has come to an agreement to legalize recreational marijuana in the state of New York. And so, hold on, let me admit Elaine Wilson to the show if she's...
It's okay, Dean. We're letting people in.
Oh, thank you, Socks. I appreciate that. Socks are on the door. And so, yes, so pretty soon pot is going to be legal here in New York State. And now, as some of you know from my Squirrels in the Attic album, it's something that, you know, I always caution people not to overindulge in, but I endorse as a friendly herb that can help folks get by and also do some other good things. Of course, it's been illegal and for a long time, but this will be, I think, I don't know, the 16th state in the United States that's making it legal. In any case, this is a song that I wrote that I was a little nervous about recording, but I did in any case. And so this is for the New York State legislature to finally acknowledge all the racist policies that were behind the drug war and which could be blamed on Richard Nixon and the legal system in the South for various reasons. I'm not going to go into all that, but if you know anything about your history, that's the reason. And as the song explains, it is not going to kill you, and it's a lot less horrible than alcohol. When I was just a young, impressionable lad, my mama said, "You pay careful heed. Watch out for loose women. Be on the lookout for that evil weed." Now I'm a dutiful son. I always do what I'm told. So I searched and searched until I met a scantily clad beauty. She was something to behold, smoking a funny looking cigarette. And she said, "Doink, doink, it's just a little joint. Makes you feel happy, light-headed and buoyant. Hardly has any ill effects at all. It's a whole lot safer than alcohol." That's exactly what we said. Well, I took a little drag and I took a little more, but nothing much was happening. But suddenly I noticed I was lying on the floor. I was dizzy and my head was spinning. There and then I understood it all became so clear. I was filled with euphoria and bliss, free of anxiety, devoid of fear. I turned to that gal and I said, "What the heck is this?" And she said, "Doink, doink, it's just a little joint. Tailored to provide you with an alternative viewpoint. It'll open up your third eyeball. It's 10 times safer than alcohol." went off to college and I moved into my dorm. Went to my freshman orientation. The dean of students said, prepare to be transformed. You're about to receive a higher education. That is just exactly what was soon to come to pass. He wasn't merely speaking off the cuff. The very next day, as I was heading off to my very first class, a cute co-ed down the hall said, honey, would you like a puff? And she said, doink, doink, it's just a little joint. From Skidmore to Harvard to West Point, it's gonna be legal soon in Montreal, already is. It's 100 times safer than alcohol. Doink, 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 doink. I want you to do some doink, doink, Sam. So I became enamored of this wondrous herb, in spite of its dubious reputation. Though the legal conundrum has left me somewhat perturbed, it has not diminished my appreciation. You know, there was one time I was just sitting on a bench under its intoxicating spell, when a little gray-haired lady sat down right next to me and asked, young man, what is that peculiar smell? And I said, doink, doink, it's just a little joint. It's good for your glaucoma and arthritis in your joints. It'll lower your blood pressure, and just like Geritol, it's a lot less toxic than alcohol. Doink, doink, doink. Now, I'm not saying it's totally benign, though I'm a fan of this fantastic greenery. Best not to smoke it all the time, and definitely not when you're driving or operating heavy machinery. But at the end of a long, hard, and miserable day, I don't care what law is on the books. Just one little puff can wash all your cares away. How they're gonna turn 100 million God-fearing citizens into crooks? And I said, doink, doink, it's just a little joint, guaranteed to never disappoint. It's an herbal remedy whose virtues I extol, in a pipe or a bong or brownies or hand roll. Doink, doink, it's just a little joint, makes you feel happy, light-headed and buoyant. It hardly has any ill effects at all. It's a lot no more dangerous than alcohol. Doink, 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 it's such a little joint. Sam Friedman. Harmonica. Thank you, Sam. Doink, doink is just a little joint.
Woohoo!
Okay, let's see here. Ed. Well, I'm gratified that this next song also got a lot of requests, and it hadn't even been released yet. It's one of the tracks on the new album. And I've described it before, but if you're first timers, just to give you some context for it, it's called American Lullaby, and like all lullabies, it's terrifying. It's filled with horrible tales that are couched in poetic terms to keep them from being too scary, but to educate those little babies. And it talks about America's original sins. Decimating the indigenous population and slavery, and also it talks about our love affair with guns. And so some of the references, for example, Half Moon is the name of the ship that Henry Hudson first sailed up what's now called the Hudson River in the 1600s to discover America, maybe, I don't know, 16, whenever it was, who knows, 49 or... And
Dad, hold on.
and
Try. Hello?
hey, Sam, I can hear you. You want to mute yourself?
No, I'm asking you to hold on. There was some sound cutting off in the last tune, so maybe try not stomping your foot. I wonder if that caused it.
Oh, okay. Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah.
Interesting. It was the keyboard or the vocals, or both?
It seemed like it was more keyboard based, but on the softer parts, it wasn't happening.
Not healthy, but all the videos are cool and fun.
I thought I could find it, and now I'm having trouble finding it, but...
You can also go to YouTube, Circus Harmony, to our playlist, and it's in the interactive playlist, the Circus Harmony Cookbook playlist.
Thank you, Jessica. Or I'm going to try and just... Let me try to, if this will work.
So you're looking for the molasses cookie one?
I am.
Yeah, they said, can we do Rollabola, that act? And I said, yes. They did not say, can we do Rollabola stacked too high on the kitchen counter?
Well, I'm going to try to share the screen and then open up the whole thing live.
Look at you. Bravo.
Can you see it?
Yes.
All right, check this out, folks. It's pretty amazing. This is one of Jesse's students.
Impeachment trial on in the background in the living room there. But you can't hear the music.
I'll play music.
I can hear the music.
Still can't hear the music from this end, and I would say do not try this trick at home, but clearly he did. Actually, he was at Grandma's house.
I think some folks can hear the music. Jesse teaches
Oh, good.
this to kids all over the world, and it's part of creating social skills and confidence, and it's really an amazing program that is founded and spearheaded and propagated, and it's deserving of support because it teaches kids to do amazing things, have confidence in themselves, and learn to trust each other.
And this was the recipe for his great-great-grandmother's molasses cookies. Repeat, had he asked me if he could do this, I would have said no. But he didn't, clearly. Juggling real cookies.
That should be the video for 1 million matzo balls.
Well, if a lot of people go to the cookbook, we will keep adding recipes, and certainly we should add matzo ball recipes. And there's a lot of circus things you can do with matzo balls.
Thank you, Jesse. That's great. And how can they find your program again? Do they want to find that cookbook?
Circusharmony.org.
And that's great. Thank you, Jessica. And
Thank you so much. What a lovely surprise.
To stress what Jessica said, she did not give that kid permission to do that, but she did instill the confidence for him to do that. And they are very safety conscious, believe me. And it is a really wonderful program. All right,
Thank
so
you.
I'm going to play some more songs. and get my capo out. This is a song from my last album, 12 Songs, that it got a lot of requests this week, which I appreciate. And the sound is holding up, folks. You can, no break, no cutouts or anything like that.
The sound's good. It's only the piano that had a problem.
All right, I will investigate that. Thank you, Socks. Or Sock. I wrote this for my old Martin D35 guitar, which after 40 years knocking around all over the planet on tour, got kind of banged up, and I finally had to retire it, hang it up on the wall in the den, because it wasn't going to survive another tour. But it served me well, and I was always fond of it, and so I wrote this song for it. This guitar can't hold a tune no more. The body is so badly cracked, be impossible to restore. The bridges warped, the frets are dull, the tuning pegs don't work at all. Doesn't play the way it did before. This guitar can't hold a tune no more. This guitar can't hold a tune no more. It's looking old and battered, just like this troubadour. The neck is bent, the saddle's worn, it's full of dents, the straps are torn. Every city on this tour. This guitar can't hold a tune no more. Drew me to these city lights, showered me with sweet delights, spent lonely nights stretched out on the floor. Playing till my fingers were sore. But this guitar can't hold a tune no more. This guitar can't hold a tune no more. All the frets are buzzing now, too loudly to ignore. Strings keep slipping out of tune, it's gonna fall to pieces soon. Might be good for just one last encore. This guitar can't hold a tune no more. Find me a cave, gonna shut myself in and not come out again. Gonna stay there till I rot in my grave. If someone comes and I just won't let them in. Oh, a woman of mine, you picked a mighty fine time to tell me that you're on your way. Now that I'm out of my mind, tell me how the hell am I gonna make it to another arrested and go to jail. I spent the rest of my life in a tank. If someone tries to help me, I'll refuse the bail. Oh, a woman of mine, you picked a mighty fine time to tell me that you're on your way. Now that I'm out of my mind, tell me how the hell I'm ever gonna make it through another day. Maybe there's just no way. I'm gonna go in my room, turn off all the lights and crawl in bed like a caterpillar in a cocoon. Hold my breath and make believe I'm dead. Oh, a woman of mine picked a mighty fine time to tell me that you're on your way. Now that I'm out of my mind, tell me how the hell I'm ever gonna make it through another day. Maybe there's just no way.
That's Sandy.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
Thank you. Let me just take a look at all you guys. Okay. Da-ba-da-da-da-da. Hey, Tess, how's it going out there?
Great, thank you.
That's good. How's the weather wherever you are?
It's been really good today, but very cold, very sunny, very cold. And thank you for playing that song. I just love it. It has so many happy memories.
I'm pleased to hear it. I appreciate you listening. And Keith, Adi. Hey, Keith, I like the picture behind you. It looks a very idyllic setting on a beach. How's life in your neck of the woods?
Hey, Dean, yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, it's my two little girls, one of which is also called Hannah.
Oh, you have another Hannah. That's right. That's cool.
Yeah, I remember meeting you, and yeah, I know you have. So yeah, yeah, it's good. We're just outside London, and yeah, it's been chilly, but it's been fine. A big full moon out there now.
Excellent. That's right. I forget that it's evening where most of you are, and the sun is still shining here. Well, you know, you're all looking very healthy and alive. That's a good thing. And let's see here. And I got to ask, Galaxy Tab A. Oh, that's the name of the device here. That's okay. That's the name of the device that you're on. So is life treating you okay in your neck of the woods? I guess so. I hope so. Glad to hear it. All right. All right. Well, let's see. I'm going to move back to the keyboard and try to figure out what that problem is as quick as I can. So let me switch my view again.
Are you all right?
I'm
We
okay.
just did it for you.
As you say, I am hunky-dory. Or yes, I used to say honky-dory, then I realized that that's not how it's pronounced or spelled.
Yeah. Bring me outside. Yeah. I'm just going to walk over.
All right, I'm gonna mute my speaker, and hopefully you'll still be able to hear me, but it won't trigger the limiter. So if I do that, everything's good. You can still hear me, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. I'm just gonna cover your ears. I'm gonna just check these cables. All right, well, hopefully that'll solve the problem.
Hey, It's breaking up, I'm afraid, Dean.
Well, said the rocking chair. It's been a while since I've seen such stark despair. Who told you life was fair? Whoa, said the radio. Sid, there's some things you ought to know. There's little you can do to stop the pain, and it's gonna happen time and time again. So just remember, even though it sounds insane, it's impossible to ever love somebody in vain. Alright, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. No, said the balcony. If it's pity you want, don't come to me. No, nothing comes for free. Yes, said the coffee cup. Maybe now is the time to act grown up. If you feel like your world is crashing in, simply dial up your nearest kith or kin. If you open up and let them in, you'll discover that you probably make it through once again. Alright, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. Hey, said the tabletop. Don't be making like you're anything you're not. Make do with what you got. Don't forget, said the cuckoo clock. Any parts you need, we've got in stock. Take a look at the place you call your home. You're reflected in all the things you own, and the seeds of reason you have sown. They're a measure of a part of you that's already grown. Alright, it's gonna be alright. 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 Well, I can't actually hear you because I turned my studio speaker off, but did that break up, or you could hear, or, well, Sam will let me know. I'll hopefully it worked out, and I did not stomp as much. And let me tell you, it's hard not to stomp on a song like that. But let's see another one that was requested. Yeah. Off of that same album. But he keeps my toothbrush in her apartment, and she never complains. Well, hardly ever. Then jokingly she says, boy, it's been so long since I've held you, I nearly gave you up for dead. I nearly gave you up for dead. I nearly gave you up for dead. Lydia, how come you understand? I can offer you nothing at all. This is more than I had planned. Lydia, at your command, at least until morning comes. Then I must be off again. I must be off again. Lydia Noyes talk about conscious decisions, about running my own life. Maybe I'm fooling myself. It's a role I like to play. 'Cause more often than not I'm down here on the corner. I'm sorry I woke you. Do you feel like some company? Babe, I need a place to stay. Lydia, how come you understand? I can offer you nothing at all. This is more than I had planned. Lydia, I'm at your command, at least until morning comes. Then I must be off again. I must be off again. I sleep with a woman who thinks I'm a child. Maybe I am. No, that wouldn't surprise anyone. I suspect that much is true. Oh, but Lydia, if you only knew just how much I love you. Did you know that I love you? It's the best that I can do. How come you understand? I can offer you nothing at all. This is more than I had planned. Lydia, I'm at your command, at least until morning comes. Then I must be off again. I must be off again.
Brilliant, thank you. Wonderful. Amazing. You're brilliant, thank you.
Saturday fathers never win. They're punished each day of their lives for their horrible sin. They carry a picture, they show it to all their friends. Daddy, I know this isn't fair, but how can you love someone and not be there? Scooter, I can't come out and play. My daddy's coming today. He's taking us away. Listen, he's gonna be here soon. I'll wait all afternoon. My daddy's coming, it's Saturday. Saturday, Saturday. Saturday, Saturday. Saturday fathers ache at the thought that children's affection can be easily bought. They take you to the park and they watch you grow. Daddy, I wish to God I knew. How come I try so hard to be not like you? Scooter, I can't come out and play. My daddy's coming today. He's taking us away. Hey, listen, he's gonna be here soon. I'll wait all afternoon. My daddy's coming, it's Saturday. Saturday, 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 Saturday. Saturday children have no say. You tear out their guts and they grow up anyway. And awful demands you make on our loyalty. Daddy, it's stuck inside my soul. How you make a choice like that and still be whole. Scooter, I can't come out and play. My daddy's coming today. He's taking us away. Hey, listen, he's gonna be here soon. My dad, wait all afternoon. My daddy's coming, it's Saturday. Saturday, 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 Saturday.
Amazing. Enjoy
Let me just check something here.
you.
Okay, we still got a little more time. I'm gonna put my speaker back on for a second. Any breakups that time around?
Sound is
No.
good.
Okay, all right. So it might have been a cable. I'll have to change cables or something like
I
that.
think it was, well, you turned the speaker off. It might have just been that.
Oh, yeah, that would have a natural limiter. Okay. Thank you,
Brilliant.
Sam. Thank you, Socks. All right, well, you know what? I got a couple more to do on the keyboard. And with this mute, that might do the job. And everybody else out there doing okay in Zoom land?
Doing very well, thank you.
I'm very pleased to hear that. That's very good, Megan. And your accomplices there on the sofa. What a great looking sofa. That looks like you could actually live on that sofa. And never
They
actually...
do, they never get up.
Well, you know, we have a sofa like that. It's so comfortable, but it's impossible to escape it. But that's good. I endorse that. Oh, Megan, you won the prizes on those videos that you did, right?
Yeah, I did.
That's right. Megan did these amazing videos when I did my video contest for McDonald's Girl and other stuff. And so what are you doing these days? Are you doing video engineering?
Not quite. I'm studying maths at the University of Exeter.
Excellent. All right. That's really good. Everybody, you need maths. Otherwise,
course,
you'd go to
yes.
the store, you'd get a dozen eggs, you'd open it up, and there'd only be 11.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Okay, that's really good. Actually, you know what? I was really good at maths in elementary school. In fact, I skipped a grade because my mom's friend, my Aunt Ruth, was a math teacher. She lent me the teacher's edition, so it had all the quizzes in the front and all the answers to the quizzes in the back. So I studied, and I knew all the answers when I started school. And but these days, I need to use my fingers. And I hesitate to ask what the socks use. Socks, how do you count?
Yes, it's a very good question. We can count up to 21 using every extremity.
Really? So, that's right, you have no ears. Okay, that's good to know.
That's exactly the path that we were going down. Nothing filthier than that.
I'm glad I asked. Okay. All right, well, we got time for a couple more. I'm going to go back here. and do some of those. And here I'm going to mute, and I'll be with you in a second. I am in love with the McDonald's girl. She has a smile of innocence, so tender and warm. I am in love with the McDonald's girl. She's an angel in a polyester uniform. I leave from softball practice every night. It's getting dark, but the golden arches light up the way. Turn the corner at the traffic light. Count my money and then I rehearse what I'm gonna say. I'd like an order of fries, a quarter pounder with cheese. I love the light in your eyes. Will you go out with me, please? I am in love with the McDonald's girl. She has the smile of innocence, so tender and warm. I am in love with the McDonald's girl. She is an angel in a polyester uniform. She is an angel in a polyester uniform. Okay, I just hold on a second. I will find the lyric in a minute. She doesn't try to impress anyone. She doesn't act real tough like all the other girls that I know. She don't treat me like a simpleton. She's not afraid to be the only other virgin I know. When my hamburger's cold, I get up ready to go. She's only 15 years old and I'm in love with her so. I am in love with the McDonald's girl. She has a smile of innocence, so tender and warm. I am in love with the McDonald's girl. She is an angel in a polyester uniform. She is an angel in a polyester uniform. There she stands behind the register, taking orders from the Saddle River Little League. If they knew how much I wanted her, the homeroom teacher would have to send them home for a week. And as I head for the door, the movement catches her eye. My heart begins to soar. She smiles and waves goodbye. I am in love with the McDonald's girl. She has a smile of innocence, so tender and warm. I am in love with the McDonald's girl. She is an angel in a polyester uniform. She is an angel in a polyester uniform. She is an angel in a polyester uniform. There she stands behind the register, taking orders from the Saddle River Little League. If they knew how much I wanted her, their homeroom teacher would have to send them home for a week. And as I head for the door, the movement catches her eye. My heart begins to soar. She smiles and waves goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. I am in love with the McDonald's girl. She has a smile of innocence, so tender and warm. I am in love with the McDonald's girl. She is an angel in a polyester uniform. She is an angel in a polyester uniform. She is an angel in a polyester uniform.
Woo!
Yes, brilliant.
Okay.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you. Woo, woo, woo.
I'm going to do this last song again. This always gets lots of requests, and I don't always do it, but I'll do it today. Although I normally try to do it with you or the Sox or someone else, but because my earpiece is not working and I can't use my speakers because it'll limit out breaking into the audio, I'm going to sing this on my own. And I'm going to sing both parts. What are you crazy? How the hell can you say what you just said? I was talking to myself. Shut the door and come to bed. By the way, I forgot to say, your endearing mother called today. Did you see Lisa? Yes, I saw Lisa. Is that why you're angry? I wasn't angry. Maybe a little, not even maybe. Must be the weather, but don't be a baby. How was I supposed to feel with all the things you don't reveal? And you can't thank your lucky stars that we're not as smart as we'd like to think we are. Would you like to talk about it? There's not much to say. We had lunch this afternoon. Her life's in disarray. She still goes around as if she is always stumbling off a cliff. Do you still want her? What are you saying? Do you still want her? Baby, stop playing. Really, you mean it? Can you forget her? Baby, now stop it. You should know better. I know this is hard to do, but there's no one for me but you. And you can't thank your lucky stars that we're not as smart as we'd like to think we are. Baby, I'm sorry I was wrong. I have no alibis. I was acting like a fool and I apologize. Listen, hon, I know you're dumb, but that's okay. You don't have to look so glum. Do you still love me? Yes, I still love you. You mean you're not just being nice? No, I'm not just being nice. Do you feel sleepy? Oh, you're so sincere. Yes, I feel sleepy. We'll slide over here. I may not be all that bright, but I know how to hold you tight. And you can't thank your lucky stars that we're not as smart as we'd like to think we are. And you can't thank your lucky stars that we're not as smart as we'd like to think we are. And we can't thank our lucky stars that we're not as smart as we'd like to think we are.
Well, that was
Fantastic.
amazing. Thank you.
Amazing,
Thank
both
you so
parts.
much.
Thank you, Dean.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Thank you, folks.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
My screen froze in the middle of that, but hopefully it didn't freeze for you guys. You were able to see and hear all that?
It froze for a second and then Teresa said switch to gallery view. So we switched to gallery view and we could see you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, sorry for the freeze, but I'm pleased that you could still hear it all. Well, gee, folks, I want to thank everybody again for joining me on
Thank
the
you.
last Sunday this
Thank
month.
you so much. It's fantastic.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much
Great
for
show. Great show.
share these songs with everybody. I want to say thank you to the Sox for
Yay!
being their inimitable selves. Thank you, Sox.
Thank you for having us.
And don't forget about the Sox. Their show is coming up. Just remind us again, when is your show and where did we find it?
It's on Friday. We've put a link in chat because we're shameless.
Excellent. Shameless Sox.
Just like Steve.
And also I encourage you to check out Jessica Hentoff's Circus Harmony cookbook, because it's got great recipes and it'll give your kids something to do and keep them out of trouble. And let's see what else. Thank Sam for his harmonica playing and doorkeeping. And you know, I'm gonna sign off for now, but if anyone's hanging out, I'll be back in about 5 minutes just to chat and shoot the breeze. Because, you know, in America, we love guns, so we're always shooting the breeze with our American guns.
So see you in a month then, maybe, yes?
Pardon me?
See you in a month?
I'll
End of
definitely see you guys in a month on the last Sunday of every month until I finally finish the album. At which point I'm hopefully I'll get back to a weekly DeanZine. But while I'm doing the album, it's just impossible to do both at once because obviously so much preparation goes into my doing. So I actually have to move.
Hey, Dean.
Yes.
Hey, could you please sing another song?
Well, you know, it's getting late. I promise I'll do another song next month. So if you don't mind standing by. And for folks on Facebook that are watching for some reason that stumbled upon this, you're invited at the last Sunday of every month to watch this All Request Zoom concert. And they're also archived, a lot of these gigs, on my website, DeanFriedman.com, in the DeanZine section, which you can find on the website. And a lot of them are actually archived on Facebook. But best to go to my website, DeanFriedman.com, and you can find them there. And thank you again for everyone for joining me. Like I say, I'll be back in a few minutes, but everybody, meanwhile, stay well, take care of yourselves.
Thank you.
And,
Thanks for great.
Everybody, be good.
Thank you. Stay safe, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye, legend.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye.
Aloha Pete in the chat has just said this is a great way to start the day. This rather suggests that Aloha Pete is in Hawaii. Are we right?
You are correct. Yes.
Excellent. What time of day is it in Hawaii?
It is now 10:40
10:40 a.m.
a.m.
Excellent. Wow, you're so very nearly on the other side of the world. It is 9:40 p.m. for all of us in the UK.
The thing we like about Hawaii is we don't do that insane daylight saving time here like the rest of the states do. So
I guess you're fairly close to the equator, so it doesn't vary like it does here.
Exactly. Sunset only varies by about 45 minutes to an hour all year long.
We wouldn't be able to stand that in Britain. It would give us nothing to talk about. Seriously, we have been so grateful for this pandemic because now we've got a new subject to chat about at bus stops. We can talk about whether you've had the vaccination or not.
Yeah, it's true. Very true.
And isn't the weather nice?
The weather is nice.
If you wonder why that sock over there keeps disappearing, he's letting people into the waiting room. That's actually what we do here. We actually run the door. Sam does it as well when he's not playing the muthi, as we call it in Scotland, the harmonica. And Paul usually does, but we couldn't make Paul into a co-host today, so he couldn't do it. Paul, you're muted on the iPad. All we can see is chin and nostrils. Can't hear a word.
Thank you.
Hiya, Paul. Yeah, we tried to make you a co-host earlier so you could do your duties, but didn't work.
Dean has said that, since Sam's been there, he doesn't need me doing it. So he just gives me a link to come in.
Oh, great. So you can just chill. That's fine.
I mean, I would be happy to do it, but he's got enough. You and Sam are obviously doing a bang up job.
Do you know, it's just that we're the sort of busybodies who love doing that sort of thing. I cannot see somebody waiting to get into a gig without running to the door. There's me running to the door and letting them in.
I know what it's like.
We're the sort of people who answer other people's phones. We're unbearable.
So when I'm actually listening to the concert, I do it on my main computer that has no mic and no camera, but a good sound system.
Uh-huh.
And now that I'm here and you can see and hear me, I'm on my little iPad and it sounds like crap.
Yeah, we were trying to get our heads around that technical thing with the sound cutting out on Dean's piano. Still cannot quite work out what it would be, unless it's the fact that he couldn't use headphones.
I think he in rearranging his studio for doing the album and then changing back to doing the concert and then doing the album, he's probably got a loose wire or an overloaded device.
Yeah, Dean has explained to everybody that these concerts are an absolute pain in the ass because he has to redo his whole studio. It's a totally different setup from when he's recording the album. So we're all grateful, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I know I look forward to seeing him because it's one of the few out of the house things that I get to experience, even if it is virtual.
Yeah,
Can I don't know if anybody can hear me.
Yeah.
Can I just say, you're all absolutely amazing. This is the first time I've joined a Dean Friedman concert. I've loved him since I was 14. I'm now 56, unfortunately. And I'm a nurse in England and I'm working through the pandemic. So it's so lovely to see so many happy faces and to hear some beautiful music. So thank you.
Well, we're all grateful to you for that nursing thing that you get paid insultingly low for. Well, your increase was very, very poor.
I actually had a girlfriend in the early 80s who introduced me to Dean's music, and we saw him live a few times in clubs in New York City, including a gig he did with Denise Marsa in like 1982 or so at the NYU Student Center. So I'm one of the few people to see him perform Lucky Stars with Denise live.
Oh, amazing! I'm sure. I unfortunately lived in Kefalonia for many years, so when I was over there, he was always. If ever he came into England, I was always in Kefalonia at the time, so I never managed to get to his concert. So to have this tonight was amazing. Yeah. I'm blown away.
I was 14 as well when I became a fan, and when I was 16, it was the first live gig that I went to was Dean's. So, and when we did Songfest the year before last, we also had Chris from Squeeze there, and that was the second gig that I went to. And the third gig was by Boo Herodrone and the group there. So it was very odd. I actually went to something that I'd been to between 17 and 19, and there I was in my late 50s seeing these same people again. It was amazing, really amazing.
And wasn't it good tonight to hear Dean singing Lucky Stars without us all massacring it?
Yes.
Oh, I love when you suck sing it. I just got back.
Hi, Dean.
Hey, Paul. How you doing, man? Hey, everybody.
Okay.
Hi. It was amazing. It had two memories for me. Lucky Stars was a good song for me, very much.
I'm pleased.
Thank you.
Sorry about the audio. I'm not sure what happened. Because my earpiece went out, then I put the mic, the speaker on my computer, but the volume into the microphone, the Zoom software cuts out echoing and feedback, so it limited. That's where the breakout. So because it seemed to work, the last few songs worked once I turned off the audio, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
It was
So
fine.
look at you all.
It was fun for me. Yeah. Brilliant. I love you, Dean.
Oh, that's very nice.
I love you.
Well, listen. I love and appreciate you guys, because otherwise, I might have to
Work for a living.
actually work for a living. Thank you, Paul. Yes. So,
Dean, tell us
yes.
about the New York School of Synthetics, because we see that behind you every week.
It is actually the New York School of Synthesis.
Oh, synthesis, right.
Synthesis, yeah.
And now, let's see here. How can I illustrate this? If I go to, I'll try to do this as quick as I can. If I can get this up, it'll make you laugh, I promise. I'm just going to see if I can share a quick video on YouTube. And I'm almost there. Oh, yes. Here we go. All right. So, all right, hold on. I'm just queuing this up. I'm going to minimize this if I can. And I'm going to bear with me while I see if I can screen share this. Share screen. It says share computer sound, so if you can't hear the sound, I did my best. But
The YouTube vid?
what'd you say, Paul?
It's a YouTube video,
Yeah.
so you can share a link and then we can all see it on our own. If we don't get the sound now.
Well, I'll see how this goes. Let's see if this works. I'm going to share this. Now, can you see this?
Hi everyone, I'm Dean Friedman, Director of the New York School of Synthesis. Here to tell you everything you need to know about the reproductive processes of the yellow speckle-bellied salamander.
Dean!
Sorry. Correction. Actually, I'm here to explain everything there is to know about music synthesis and how to make sounds on all these neat, amazing synthesizers.
Wait, could you see that?
Yes.
Could you hear the audio?
sound?
Yeah,
I bet half the people could hear the sound, couldn't they?
All right,
Yeah,
there's a
I
Zoom
hear
bug,
it.
so half of you heard sound, half of you didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, in my wayward youth, after I was dropped unceremoniously by Epic Records, after McDonald's Girl was banned by the BBC, I met a guy named David Nickturn. He great songwriter. He wrote the song "Midnight on the Oasis" that Maria Muldaur made a hit. Midnight on the Oasis, put your camel down. Great song. Anyway, David was the North American rep for a company called Synclavier out of Australia or New Zealand, somewhere down there. They made. No, that was the Fairlight. Synclavier was New England. I'm sorry. Out of New England. Anyway, it was at the time it was the most powerful synthesizer on the planet, but it also cost $50,000 because it was so powerful. And I couldn't afford one, but what I did is, because he was a nice guy, I made a deal with him to rent time there a couple hours a week. So I would go to his studio offices and I would teach myself this instrument, the Synclavier. And it was a really amazing instrument. It was very exciting, a lot of fun. And so as a result, somehow I wrangled myself a book contract to write what became the first consumer guide for synthesizers. And then a book called Synthesizer Basics. Oh, here we go. Yes. This is
Synthesizer Basics.
Synthesizer Basics.
You had that. You had that still to hand. We weren't setting you up for a thing that you had to hand. It's just
I do
always there.
appreciate it. But listen, it just was circumstantial and happenstance or serendipity. And I did all the illustrations, and it was a lot of fun. And I also did a little bit of a history about the synthesizer. And does anyone here listening, watching right now know when the first synthesizer was invented? Anybody? Or who invented it?
It's ridiculously earlier than we think. It's like 1919 or 1920 something.
Even ridiculously earlier than that, Paul.
Wow.
I'll read it here. The first synthesizer was invented by a guy named Thaddeus Cahill in 1897.
I was only 20 years off.
Yeah, 1897, before the turn of the century, and at the end of the 19th century, he basically, they were, exploring and becoming adept at using oscillators, and he started generating sound with these big oscillators. The thing is that his synthesizer, it was called the Telharmonium. It was so big that it weighed 200 tons. I'll see if I can show you a picture of this. But these are some black and white pictures of the first synthesizer.
It's black.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was a lot of fun researching the book and writing about it. And so after that, I got a contract from Warner Brothers Publishing in Europe to do a video series on it. And so I did this 3-part video series. You saw a little clip of it. And the thing is, I knew nothing about synthesizers, so I was learning by the seat of my pants, and it was all fascinating and exciting. But because I was new to it, I think I was able to explain it in layman's terms in a way that made it very accessible to viewers. And it became a very, very popular book series and video series. This was after I was dropped by the label, and kept me busy. And so I started doing classes at the New York School of Synthesis. Now the funny thing is that I did this in 1986 or something like that, or 87. And about 4 or 5 years ago, a guy from Norway who had the video emailed me and said, "Can I post your Intro to Synthesis video series on YouTube?" I said, "That's fine, sure, no problem." And he did, and it went viral. In fact, if you go type in Dean Friedman Intro to Synthesis in YouTube, you'll see right now it's got 584,000 views, the first one. More people have seen this video for synthesizers than any of my music videos for music or records.
Wow.
And, but even more hilarious than that, the t-shirt that I'm wearing and that you see in the background here, it's got a cartoon on it that I drew. And here, I'll show it to you. And Kev will appreciate this. So I did this cartoon of a crazy synthesizer player playing all his keyboards. And I wear it in this video series. Well, what happened is after it was published, like I say, about 4 or 5 years ago, it went viral. I started getting requests by email from people all over the world. Where can I get a copy of your t-shirt? Where can I buy that t-shirt?
Oh.
And I had to go into the house to a box that was storing some old artwork. And I finally found the original illustration. I made up some t-shirts. Now, I don't want you to feel bad about this, but I make more money selling these t-shirts than selling Dean Friedman CDs. Just saying, at least once, twice, 3 times a week, I get an order from somewhere around the world, from Moscow, from Tokyo, from Seattle, Los Angeles, Brooklyn, New York, all over the world. There are, and these are, some young hip hop artists and some engineers. And if you read the comments, if you go on YouTube and check out this video, read the comments, because the comments are hilarious. Because there's a fly buzzing around the studio while I'm talking. And so if you're wearing headphones, you hear suddenly I'm talking, and then there's this fly that buzzes by. Anyway, they've been embraced by the synthesizer community. And a typical comment, which is satisfying, is that I get this a lot. People say, I went to audio engineering school for 3 years, spent a lot of money getting this certificate of audio engineering, and I didn't understand any of this audio synthesis until I saw your videos and watched them. So anyway, it's very gratifying. And so that answers your question, Kev. Thank you for asking it. I didn't mean to babble on so much about it, but I'm proud of the videos, and I'm proud of the cartoon on the T-shirt.
Rightly so.
There you go. So any other peculiar questions, or even regular or normal questions?
Was Epic in any way associated with LiveSong?
Epic was a division of CBS Records,
right,
and Columbia, and then it all was bought by Sony, and
right.
it was all part of Sony Records. LiveSong was an independent label, which was distributed by Epic and CBS. That was the only relationship.
Yeah, because you say you were dropped by Epic, but my recollection of your early albums were 2 by LiveSong and then 1 from the record co-op, which was Rumpled Romeo.
Oh, Paul, it's a long story. I have to be on for hours to try to my ridiculous recording career. But in short, the first 2 albums were on LiveSong, and when they sued me for $1.4 million to go back into the studio because I wasn't getting paid, and I protested that.
Wow.
The only way to get off the label was to go bankrupt, which I did in like 70, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Or 1980. That severed that contract. So Rumpled Romeo I put out independently, but I signed with Epic directly. So LiveSong was not part of the Rumpled Romeo deal. And then, of course, McDonald Grow was banned, CBS dropped me, and I have been left to my own devices ever since. But there are a lot of things that I've done as a result of that I'm real proud of. And we wouldn't be sitting here talking otherwise. Because I would be so fucking famous and rich that I wouldn't have time to bother with people. And I would be all by myself, doing hard drugs and wasting my life away.
Maybe one day I'll be a famous man.
But I don't understand why you're not more famous and rich than you are, because I think you're fabulous. And actually,
very sweet
when
of
I
you,
was
Manny.
but when I was running a cocktail bar in Kefalonia, I actually started talking to a lady there, and she said, "Oh my God, Dean Friedman, he's amazing!" And we were like really good buddies, and we're Dean Friedman fans on Facebook now.
Well, where's Catalonia? Where is that? Where?
Kefalonia, it's a Greek island.
Oh,
It's a
that's
Greek
nice.
island,
I've been to
yeah.
Skyros. That's another Greek island. That's
Oh
lovely.
yeah.
So,
No,
man,
no,
I asked that question of myself, and I have not yet figured out the answer. But like I say, at the end of the day, as the lyrics to my song goes, I am a lucky guy. So I can't complain too much. It doesn't stop me from complaining, but I try to I do appreciate what I got, especially in these ridiculous, crazy times.
Wow.
Where
It's not a good time, is it? But we'll get by as we can the best, don't we? Really, But
that's exactly.
I should be in Kefalonia now, but I'm in England working as a nurse. So there you go.
All right. Well, enjoy the next time you'll be in Catalonia in no time flat. I'm sure enjoying the sunny skies and the beaches of Greece.
But I would like to be here when you come to England, so I can see you live in concert.
Well, I appreciate that, and if you read the last newsletter, I have shifted most of this spring and early summer dates to next year, 2022. There's a great likelihood that I'll shift all the 2021 dates to 2022.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I haven't done it. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. It gets complicated, but unless the situation dramatically improves for the better in a short time, it's just too big a risk for me financially to prepare to go over and then have everything shut down. With all the expense and cost and upfront, it just makes more sense for me to wait. But I'll let everybody know. I'll keep you posted, and I will get there eventually.
To get through the Suez Canal.
That's right. Yeah, it's like turning a big giant boat around. That is hilarious. I like all the memes of the little backhoe that's trying to dig it out.
Dig the thing out.
Yes.
Oh, look at your that cat. That your little kitty is very adorable, Elaine. That's very nice.
Thank you so much, Dean. Anyway, thank you very much.
Well, thanks for listening, folks.
I really, really, really did. I'm sure I'll be tuning in again. I do keep tabs on you. I'm not a stalker, really, but Thank you very much.
Glad to hear it. Well, I appreciate you listening. And now I know Aloha Pete is in Hawaii. Now, I've always wanted to tour in Hawaii, Pete.
Well, you've got a place to stay if you want to come to Hawaii.
That's good to know. I am a noisy guest, but I appreciate the offer. And so if there's a nice venue there, keep me in mind. Let me know, and I'll try to work it out.
We have a few good places. I'm actually curious about your soda bottles on the back wall. Is that a particular favorite brand?
It is. It's Boylan Soda. And
They're
I
great.
even wrote a commercial for them, unsolicited, because Boylan Soda is the best soda in the whole wide world. Boylan Soda is the best soda in the whole wide world. I sent it to them, but they never responded.
What are they?
It's really nice soda, and I don't know, it just tastes good. I especially like their black cherry soda, and it's made in New Jersey, across the river from where I am right now. And thanks for asking. Any other questions? I see it is getting a little late. I don't want to keep you past your bedtimes.
I have one.
Yeah?
I do. What is, now that your other guitar is hanging on the wall, who made the one you play now? I can't quite read it. It looks like Freshman? Is that what that
Yes,
says?
it's a freshman guitar. This is my friend Shelly Gilbert, now Shelly Allison. We went to high school together, and she's living now in Texas, and hopefully you have your water lines repaired and electricity back on.
Water line's held, and I slept in a hat and mittens. I'm good.
I'm pleased to hear it. This guitar is called a Freshman. It's made up in Scotland. Well, actually, that's not true. The company that sells it is based in Scotland. It's made in China, but the company, the Freshman in Scotland, designed it and specified it, and it does all the setup. And on a tour a few years back, I was looking for a tour sponsor, and I needed a guitar. I thought maybe I'll be able to get a loaner, because every time I travel with a guitar through the airport, it's a pain in the ass. It's like 100 pounds or $150 each way. It adds up. So they sent me this a loaner guitar to use for the tour, and it was a really beautiful guitar. It sounds great, plays great, and so at the end of the tour, I bought it from them at a nice discount. And I've been buying them ever since. Every time I go over, instead of schlepping my guitar, I buy one over there, get a new one, and sometimes I sell them. Sometimes I take them home. But Freshman, and you can just go to, I think, freshmanguitar.com. Just look up Freshman Guitar. You can Google it.
Well, that's beautiful. Thank you.
On their website, and they also made my ukulele.
Oh.
So I'd like to play that.
It's a Freshman ukulele. So they're good instruments, and they're very affordable compared to, like, for example, this Freshman guitar is the equal, if not better, than any Taylor guitar that you might buy for $2,000, and it's under it's probably closer to $600, $700 or less. So I endorse them, and
Hey,
Dean, can I ask you a
professional.
quick
Oh, sorry.
please?
Yes.
No. Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, go ahead, Jane.
Is it possible, or will it be possible, to buy something like the Dean Friedman songbook, which is like a book of your words and music, so that people can play and sing your songs for themselves?
Well, thank you for asking. And there is one songbook. There is my Well Said the Rocking Chair songbook somewhere, which I don't have to hand. It's in the other room. So all the songs to Well Said the Rocking Chair are in a Well Said the Rocking Chair songbook, which you can get now on my website.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good news.
So it's got Lydia and Lucky Stars and Rocking Chair and Song from My Mother, all that. Not Song from My Mother. Yeah, Song from My Mother. All the stuff on Well Said the Rocking Chair.
Song from My Mother?
You can get this online.
But the stuff from the first
Not Song
album.
from My Mother. Shopping Bag Lady. Sorry, I apologize.
The stuff from the first album is the stuff that you won't own till 2033. Is that right?
Exactly. So as Kevin just said, the first album I don't own for another however many years.
Sounds like 12.
Just 12
Because I
years
don't own
now.
the copyright to the first album, I legally can't publish the sheet music. I can publish the sheet music for all the subsequent albums, and I'd love to put out a whole, compilation songbook for all of them. The problem is, it's actually really expensive to put together a songbook, to get the songs transcribed and then laid out and set up and then printed and if there were a few more of you good folks, then it might be feasible. But it's just going to have to wait a little while longer. But thank you for asking. And as Kev said, you can get the second album on my website right now.
I will look out for it. That's really super.
Excellent.
When you wrote your famous songs, did you actually write them on sort of manuscript paper, as if you were like composing formally, or was it a more informal process, like sitting with your feet on the windowsill and sort of like strumming away? Or how did you do it? Did you write it on manuscript paper?
Starting out, I would either write things just, with a guitar on a piano, and then scribble down the lyrics and maybe some chord changes or notes on any scrap of paper that I had handy.
Mm-hmm.
I
just happen to have a scrap of paper right here.
And sometimes it would be manuscript paper, but sometimes it would look like this. Or sometimes, if I had manuscript paper, it would be like this.
Oh, wow.
And as the technology changed, there are a lot of instances where if I have a phrase or a musical idea, I'll put a smartphone up and I'll record it. So I've documented it. Because it really is, I'm not a quick, transcriber and notation. I was never great at it. I could do it, but I was never great at it. And I'm not really fast. Some people just go blah, 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 blah.
And so
for me,
to work with the band, when you were recording with the band for the studio recordings and for live things, did they need sheet music, or do they need just chords, or just telling them?
well, going into the studio, I would do charts. I would do chord charts for the band and the other players, and we'd work up arrangements together. When I got more involved in doing, for example, string charts and horn arrangements, I would do those. I would sit down with the score and I would orchestrate it.
Because that's what you studied, right?
I did. I studied music and orchestration and arranging at the City College of New York, and they had a division called the Leonard Davis Center of Performing Arts, and I studied with some really great musicians. I learned a lot, and what's changed now is that because of synthesizers and samplers and sequencers and the technology, and the lack of money to actually hire an orchestra, instead of having to notate all these arrangements for strings and horns, in most instances, I can create those backgrounds and arrangements with synthesizers and samplers. So instead of writing it down and getting other people to play it, I just play it and record it, and then I mix it all together. So it's all changed. Let me tell you, when I first started recording, we recorded on big 2-inch tape reels, 2-inch thick, and really big, giant tape reels, and I wasn't allowed to touch the tape.
No.
There was a tape operator in the CBS studios. It's a union job, and only a union tech operator could pick up the tape, put it on the tape reel, and press play and record. I couldn't press play, stop, or record. It had to be Ted. Teddy was the tape op, and that was his job. And if you tried doing his job, he'd get pissed. So there would be me, the artist, and then there would be a producer and an engineer, an assistant engineer, a tape op, and who else? Well, there are at least half a dozen people in the studio setting up things and organizing stuff, as opposed to now, where you're looking at the studio.
Yeah.
This is the studio, and I'm looking right here at the computer that does all the music. And anyway, it's got advantages and disadvantages. But one thing about the pandemic is, aside from all the horribleness and the suffering people have endured, this is the first time I've been able to spend this amount of time in the studio working an album. And,
Dean, the comment was made that you had to rewire everything to go from recording an album to having a live concert. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, you were saying how setting up for these Zoom things, you have to just change the whole room.
Well, to be honest, it's actually not big a deal. It's just a big pain in the ass. I can do it in about 5 minutes, but it's still a big fucking pain in the ass. I have to take the umbrella off of this light because with the umbrella up, here's the umbrella. I don't know if you can see it. Well, I can't.
It's the disperser.
I have to take the umbrella off because in front of me are my two speakers, and so if I'm trying to do a mix and there's this big umbrella here, then it totally distorts the mix. I have to switch the lights around. I have to unplug all the USB connections. I have to change the mic cables because right now I'm going into my little sub mixer that is good for Zoom. And if I'm recording, I have to plug into my main A to D converter. Anyway, it's like I say, it's not that big a deal. It's just a fucking pain in the ass. Anyway, listen, it's great to see you all, and thank you again for supporting these indie efforts. Be well, stay tuned, keep in touch. I'm going to sign off, and everybody...
One of these days, I'm going to ask you about that desert period.
What's that, Paul?
The desert period. The period in the late 80s, early 90s that I couldn't find you anywhere. You were doing video games for kids and not a lot of music.
That's because I was in virtual reality and making strange musical instruments. Well, next time I'll tell you more about it.
Yeah. No, I've got some questions about that time.
All right. Well, listen, everybody take care. And thanks again for coming. Thanks, Kev.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dean.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
To you.